Hello, welcome to Bjorn Tarot. Today we're going to be asking what are the signs trying to tell you? So if you've been seeing different signs, synchronicities, or just feel connected to some kind of unclear message that you're seeing out in the world, we're going to look in and see if we can see what that's all about. So if you want to pause the video, breathe, meditate, try to really follow your intuition with choosing which group is right for you. Always take these messages with a grain of salt, and if something doesn't fit into your life, don't try to make it fit, but you may be able to get other messages out of it. So with that, we'll get started. Okay, so this is going to be for group 1. Welcome, group 1. If you chose this group, you chose this carnelian stone, and you chose number 32, rumination, for your main card. I'm going to put that here. And we're going to be using the neon Waite deck today. This is for group 1, please. Clear guided messages for group 1. Rumination. That's when we're kind of just letting our minds loop. We're thinking about something. We're not really able to stop thinking about it, yet we don't really have closure or a conclusion. So that can kind of stop you up. Okay, group 1. What are the signs trying to tell group 1? We have the 2 of Cups. What are the signs trying to tell group 1, please? Clear guided messages. We have the 3 of Cups. Okay. Group 1. What are the signs? 6 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Okay. So, group 1, I feel like what the signs are kind of trying to communicate to you is that if you've spent a lot of time kind of ruminating maybe about a past relationship, or maybe like a missed connection, a missed opportunity with someone that you thought, was really going to lead somewhere, I feel like it's saying to try really hard to let go of this. I feel like this person, if this is resonating for you, I feel like the other person involved, they kind of just like came in quickly with that Knight of Cups with like all these like strong emotional offerings, like flirting, very sweet and charming. But I also feel like they kind of like left without much closure, or there may have even been like someone else involved, or they just weren't the type to like commit, even though they came in bringing that like commitment energy because they came on so strong maybe. I'm seeing the messages with the 6 of Cups asking you to try to find that harmony, like get more in touch with things that are happy memories, nostalgia, things that can kind of help remind you of something positive or a time where you felt safe and happy, whatever time period that may be in your life, to kind of get you out of this rumination. And sometimes we do have to kind of look in the mirror to address the reasons why we're not really able to move on or like let something go that's not healthy for us. What are the signs? Okay, that one fell out. Okay, we have the moon. This can be about illusions, secrets, observing things in the dark that may look like something they're not. That could be something that is less scary or more scary. Also, maybe how the moon only sheds minimal light on the shadows. So you can maybe like get some information, but you don't know the full picture. And I feel like you not knowing kind of leaves you just looping in this like, what happened? I miss them. I'm sad. I thought this was a Two of Cups union, and it proved otherwise. What are the signs trying to tell group 1? We have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups. Yeah, with the Knight of Swords, that's like a quest for truth. So I feel like with this rumination and the energy surrounding this reading, that you may just like be having a lot of trouble like letting it go, letting it be, for what it is, which sometimes in life, in these connections, like we just don't ever get closure, and it's really hard to accept. But I feel like there has to come a point where you're like, okay, there's no more I can try to understand from this. There's no more information I can gather to like make sense of this. And sometimes we have to just surrender and be like, okay, like this did not work out how it seemed, and it doesn't make sense. And that is one way we have closure. And I feel like there is some kind of clarity, or even emotional support being offered to you, even from like your subconscious. But I feel like you're just really kind of zoned in to these cups down here, which could represent the loss, or the missed opportunity, or whatever it may be for you. I feel like you're really kind of looking at that where you're not seeing the other things that are being offered to you. This could even be like from someone else, maybe. For group 1, please. What are the signs telling them? King of Cups. It's like basically saying like you are gonna have a much more healthy connection with someone. But I think like this person came in as the Knight of Cups, and it just seemed like so perfect to you, or just like was very emotionally flattering and fulfilling and like fun. But I think the signs are letting you know that if you try to take your focus away from these cups down here, which represents all of the turmoil and emotional confusion surrounding this situation, that you're going to see somebody much more mature and empathetic and balanced come in. Because I think the longer that you ruminate on this, and it's not your fault, like everything's a healing process and there's no like perfect time limit, but it's all about like you taking a step back and being like, is this something I want to continue to invest my energy into? So yeah, I think the messages are saying don't settle for this. I know it's really hard to let go. I know you don't have all the answers that you'd like to be able to feel like you have enough closure to move on. But it's saying like your quest for truth is taking away from your doors of opportunity and also your own peace. So I think they're saying, let's take a step back. Let's look within ourselves and see what blockages are there and how we can surrender to accepting the lack of closure, the lack of understanding. But that's what I see for you, Group 1. That's what came out in your messages. I hope this was helpful. If it did resonate or make sense to you, please like, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm. And most of all, I hope this reading helped you in some way. And I'm sending you all the love. Be brave. Thank you, Group 1. And I believe in you. Okay, hello, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be asking what signs that you've been seeing, like what is the message that is trying to be communicated to you? And if you chose this group, you chose this amethyst. And your card is number 25 with waves. I'm going to put that there. Okay, for Group 2, please. Clear guided messages for Group 2. What's trying to be communicated to Group 2 from the signs they're seeing out in the world? What are the signs trying to communicate to Group 2, please? Clear guided messages for Group 2. Okay, with this waves. The waves is kind of about like you taking a brave leap into your deep emotional depths so you can have better understanding of yourself, release, and rid yourself of any emotional blockages. Kind of like shadow work. Okay, Group 2. What are the signs trying to communicate to Group 2, please? We have the Hermit. We have the World. 2 major arcana. Okay. The Tower. Wow, 3 major arcana cards. What are the signs trying to communicate? These cards are just flying out. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so let's take a look. I think what the signs are trying to communicate is this might be a time where you need to take a step back to have alone time. Not just alone time like hanging out, but alone time where you're actually meditating, however you're able to do that, where you're able to look deep within yourself to try to come to realizations that you wouldn't be able to if you didn't take the time to go deep within, which totally goes with this waves card. The Hermit takes all the time they need in order to come to enlightenment, understanding of themselves. So it might be a good time to kind of step away from the world in whatever ways you're able to, so that you can process all these things that have built up emotionally and cause blockages and kind of hold you back in certain ways, maybe in relationships, or it could be family relationships, romantic, friendship, anything. I feel like there might be some kind of blockage there. And I feel like this blockage leads you, or prevents you, from being able to feel a sense of completion or wholeness within yourself, which is why it's necessary to go into this hermit phase maybe right now. I feel like with the Tower coming out, it's saying like, you know, eventually if you don't process it, like, it's going to be inevitable that it's going to come up in different ways in your life to cause pandemonium and destruction. And if the foundations are not stable that this tower is built upon, eventually it's going to crumble and fall, and there will be, you know, a price to pay or a consequence to not building this tower with a steady foundation. Like, that can only last so long before it crumbles, you know? So I think it's saying one way to prevent this tower is by going within yourself, by processing the emotions, walking into those depths that are scary. Of course, at your own pace. Don't just walk into where it's traumatizing, but go at a pace that is comfortable, but where you're also challenging yourself, and it might take some time to learn the fine line of that. With the Queen of Pentacles, I think it's saying, I think the signs and the messages are saying you will have this stability, you will have this abundance, and be able to share your generosity with others. I think also it's saying that you processing or beginning this, or maybe you're already like have started it, and this is just like confirmation that you're on the right track. But I think it's saying that you will have more stability, and it will prevent you from kind of like a domino effect from not addressing these emotional difficulties and it building up into a bigger problem. What else for group 2? What are the signs trying to tell group 2, please? Okay, we have the 9 of Wands. This talks about a heavy burden that you carry. It talks about somebody who has been through a lot. They're wounded, they're tired, they're exhausted, but above all else, they're determined to reach the finish line. Even if their legs feel heavy, they're exhausted, and they feel defeated in a lot of ways, but they're not going to give up. It's like the wounded warrior, I believe, is what the card's known for. And it's like this wounded warrior does not give up, even with wounds and bandages and utter exhaustion. So let's see what else. We have the Knight of Wands. More wands coming out. It's about like swift action, inspiration. And then we have the Page of Wands. Wow. 3 Wands cards here for the bottom row. And the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting, this coming out right underneath the Queen of Pentacles, and we're talking about how you processing through some of this is going to bring you more earthly stability, like when it comes to work, domestic life, earth life. So yes, wounded warrior, you're not giving up. The signs are encouraging you to not give up if you're tired and you feel like, oh, I'm already like wounded and damaged, I can't go on. They're saying, no, keep going, because with this 9, you're so close to having the enlightenment of the Hermit if you stick with it. And I feel like this 9 of Wands kind of talks about like the emotional difficulties that we experience when we are in this hermit mode, because we have to face things in order to come to that enlightenment and understanding, and with this Waves card as well. So yeah, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, and 5 of Pentacles. With the Knight of Wands, this is also someone who takes very quick, fiery, passionate, inspired action. This Knight is very fast moving. They can kind of like look without leaping, and sometimes their fast motion and passion can lead to like almost like impulsive consequences. But in this context of this reading, I'm taking it more like, no, you need to just dive into this. Like the avoidance, I mean, do it at a healthy pace, right? Like if you need to seek out therapy, definitely do that, or whatever you're able to do to help you process things in a way that's like healthy and at your own safe pace. But it's just saying like you need to just like dive in and make this your passion to process all of this so you can live a happier life and avoid what the Tower can bring when we don't address these things that cause all these weird domino effects in our life when not addressed. With the Page of Wands, like this is about a sense of adventure and curiosity, and like maybe you don't know all the answers, maybe going deep within yourself and facing stuff that's very alien to you. But it's like with the Page of Wands, I think it's saying be adventurous, be curious, be open. The pages are also like a younger kind of energy, so it's like kind of go in it with an open mind, and you know, as enthusiastic as you can be with some of the deep stuff, it's hard to feel that way. Excuse me. And with the 5 of Wands, or I mean Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, I feel like it's just saying like, it's kind of like with the Tower, it's like if you don't do anything and you're stagnant, like it's going to end up causing more hardships, more domino effect of like causing hardship in your life, and maybe poverty or a lack of stability in the physical world. So yeah, I just think it's saying like, I think you're already on this path, or you've been thinking about like, you know, maybe it's been coming up here and there where you're like, I need to process this, it's causing blockages and problems in my life. Like maybe you're just starting to really recognize that. So I feel like it's just like an encouragement, this whole spread. Like I know it's kind of heavy, but in the end it's a good thing, because you're gonna have this enlightenment, you're gonna have this clarity, a sense of completion, averting crisis, gaining that stability that you crave. It's like the Queen of Pentacles is so stable and abundant and has everything she needs to share, and then the Tower is destruction. And I think it's just saying like, if you're able to keep along this path at your own safe pace, and like I said before, please seek out professional help if that's what you need to help you along this, especially. But yeah, I think it just giving you encouragement, saying you can do this. Like, even if you're tired, you're so close. Walk into this with bravery. This person in this card is walking into this ocean, and only the moon is giving a small amount of light to lead them through the waves, through these heavy, heavy emotions. But I think you're really going to have a better understanding for everything in yourself, and it's going to lead to this happiness and completion, and a cycle has ended and a new one begins. So be curious, be brave. You're close to having this clarity and this enlightenment. That's what I see for you, group 2. I hope it was helpful. I know that was a little bit heavy, but I hope it was helpful, like I said. And please remember to be brave. Please seek out professional help or counseling, or reach out to a friend. Don't feel alone. And I know that you can process whatever it is that you are going through or have gone through, and you're going to have this light and this clarity, and you're going to walk out of these waves feeling so much lighter emotionally. But thank you so much, group 2. If you found this helpful, please like, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I also love hearing your guys' input and how the messages resonated or didn't for you. But yes, thank you guys, and I'm wishing you the best of luck. Okay, hello group 3. Welcome to today's reading. Today we're going to be asking about what are the signs trying to communicate to you that you keep seeing. So if you've been seeing a lot of signs lately and you're just not quite sure like what the message is, whether it be numbers, animals, anything, you know what a sign feels like to you. We're going to see what like potentially might be, trying to communicate to you, or what they're trying to communicate. This is the crystal you chose. I can't remember the name of it, but it's beautiful. Put that there. And then your card you got was number 10 with hibernation. Put that there. We're going to be using the Aquarian tarot for your reading. This is for group 3. Clear guided messages, please, for group 3. What are the signs trying to communicate to group 3? Clear guided messages, please. What are the signs trying to communicate to group 3? That was too many, but we'll take the first one. So 4 of Pentacles. Give it another shuffle. Okay, group 3. What are the signs trying to communicate to group 3, please? Another 4 of Wands. Too many cards again. What are the signs trying to communicate? We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the 9 of Swords. So I think for you guys, group 3, with the hibernation card, it can go both ways. It could mean that you need to go into hibernation, or it could mean that you need to come out of hibernation. In this reading, I feel like I'm definitely taking it as you need to come out of your hibernation. Maybe spend a lot of time at home. Number 10 also represents completion and cycles ending. And we see in this card a picture of a house and then 2 candles. So it's like maybe you've been spending a lot of time in isolation, spending a lot of time at home, not having a social life. And I think that you are kind of holding on to this because it gives you a sense of security, of stability. With the 4 of Pentacles, that's when we're holding on to things. It's kind of like a scarcity mindset. It could mean that you're holding on to what you have responsibly, like maybe like financially. Like if you're having a hard time, you could be really trying to be careful and hold on to the resources you do have. But it can also talk about like holding on to things in life that are maybe not the healthiest for us, but we are holding on to it because it gives us a sense of stability or a sense of security. And then you got the 4 of Rods or the 4 of Wands. This talks about like celebration and community, and I think this is something that you're lacking. I'm not seeing this with this Wheel of Fortune and the 9 of Swords. I'm not seeing this as like you are in a mode in your life where you're like out celebrating with others. You know, it can talk about like weddings and unions and like, but it's mostly about like celebrations with others. And I think with this hibernation card, it's like, and this 9 of Swords, it's like this is something you're lacking. It's almost like you're trading holding on to this sense of security for these enriching experiences where you might be more connected with community. I do see that this cycle is ending soon. I think with this 10, the hibernation, and then 10 and the Wheel of Fortune, it's like this is a cycle closing, a chapter ending. Things can only stay in one era or one phase for so long, and even if we don't actively change it ourselves, like life circumstances will keep things moving whether we like it or not, and that can kind of like rock our sense of stability. With this 4 of Pentacles, it kind of shakes things up in a way that's uncomfortable, but it's actually good for us, you know? I think you sense this ending coming to a close, or coming near. Sorry, I can't talk. But with this 9 of Swords, this is someone who's sitting up in bed just their thoughts are just like racing, they're anxious, they're worried, they can't sleep. They're kind of like in mental anguish just from their own thoughts, you know? And so I think like, you know that it's time to break out of this cycle, but it's hard to find grounding. So that is why you might be holding on to what you can with that 4 of Pentacles. What are the signs trying to communicate to group 3, please? One more. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So let me put it like this so you can see. Queen of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, more Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. It's almost like these all kind of matched up. Interesting. Okay, so Queen of Pentacles, 6 of Rods, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. So with the Queen of Pentacles, this is someone who is very abundant, is very connected to nature, has everything that they need, and share it with all of those around them, and are very connected to nature. It's kind of similar to the Empress card. And I think the signs are telling you that, like, if you are able to excuse me, let go of some of this holding on so tight, if you know it's like in an unhealthy way, I think if you are able to just let go of that grip a little bit and just try to be open to allowing this chapter to close, then what's going to be a result of that, excuse me guys, I'm getting over being sick, is you're going to kind of step into more this Queen of Pentacles energy. It's going to open more doors for you with the Ace of Pentacles. This is about new beginnings, and it's right under the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about, it can talk about good fortune and cycles ending. But with the Ace of Pentacles, this is like a brand new beginning where you have opportunities being offered to you, being handed to you almost from the skies, from the divine. So it's like, I think if you can surrender a little bit to this change, you're going to be shocked at how your anxiety is going to melt away, and how you're not going to feel like you have to hold on so tight, because doors are going to open. We have the Six of Wands or Rods here too, which talks about victory and celebration and us returning from something very difficult and tiring and exhausting, but we're victorious, and we have all our friends and family there celebrating, rooting us on. With the Knight of Swords, this knight is like a truth seeker. This knight also moves very fast and can sometimes move so fast that I don't know what the right word to say is, but they can kind of be a bit reckless, I guess you could say, like, but they can also be very, like, brave and daring, and yeah, so it's like, I think if you're able to kind of race into this kind of reminds me of the last pile a little bit, but I think if you're able to kind of just like dive into this and dive into this change, accept the new opportunities that are being offered to you, turn those opportunities into abundance and stability that you can not only help yourself with, but with others. And it's going to get you out of this funk that you're in with your current routine. It's going to just lead you right out of this chapter. The chapter is going to close. I know that sounds scary right now if you're feeling this scarcity energy and trying to hold on to some form of grounding right now. But I think what you're not seeing is that you stepping out of this, all of this is going to make you feel so grounded, to have this stability and abundance and connection with others. I think you're going to be much more connected with community. There's a lack of it here, but if you get out of your head, if you stop holding on so tight, you're going to be greeted with support and victory and opportunities, like I said. But that's what I see for you, Group 3. I hope this was helpful. I believe in you. I've been there too. It's hard to let these chapters close. It's hard to get out of a funk. But little by little, loosen the grip on whatever you're holding on to. And I think you're going to feel a lot more weightless and calm. And you're going to be more open to seeing the things that are being offered to you. But I'm wishing you the best, Group 3. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, share. It helps the algorithm, and I appreciate it. And I also just love hearing if the messages made sense to you or not, if you feel comfortable sharing. But yeah, and also if you guys have any suggestions for future topics, feel free to comment, and I will definitely consider using that for a future reading. But thank you guys so much, and have a great day. Bye.